CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. The battle over the Progressive Conservative Party name has reached the courtroom. Former UCP MLA Peter Guthrie revealing he and MLA Scott Sinclair are being sued by the United Conservative Party. The lawsuit seeks to block Guthrie and Sinclair from changing the Alberta Party to the Alberta Progressive Conservative Party. The UCP claims they have owned and used the name since acquiring it after the merger between the PCs and the Wild Rose Party. And Guthrie's use of the name is infringing on their trademarks. On social media, Guthrie claims the trademark, calls it, I'm sorry about that.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. The battle over the Progressive Conservative Party name has reached the courtroom. Former UCP MLA Peter Guthrie revealing he and MLA Scott Sinclair are being sued by the United Conservative Party. The lawsuit seeks to block Guthrie and Sinclair from changing the Alberta Party to the Alberta Progressive Conservative Party. The UCP claims they have owned and used the name since acquiring it after the merger between the PCs and the Wild Rose Party, and Guthrie's use of the name is infringing on their trademarks. On social media, Guthrie calls the trademark claim weak and says the lawsuit is about intimidation. The lawsuit heads to court next month. Alberta will allow trophy hunters to take aim at elk and deer on fenced-in farms. The UCP government says it will boost rural tourism and help keep game farms viable. Critics say it shouldn't even be called hunting and claim it poses health risks. Kevin Green reports.
Legislation introduced Monday would allow hunters to kill animals like this inside fenced-in farms. The province says it's about creating new tourism opportunities and bringing money into rural communities.
There is a huge potential for them and the communities in which surround them to be able to create an entirely new economy.
The elk and deer ranching industry has been lobbying for this for decades and intensified its efforts in the past 5 years.
They said to me, when they first approached me just over a year ago, that this is critical, that this happens for them to continue to be successful farmers in the service space.
But wildlife groups say this isn't tourism and it isn't sport.
It's not hunting, it's shooting fish in a barrel.
The Alberta Wildlife Federation argues fenced animals still interact with wild animals and penned hunting risks boosting the spread of chronic wasting disease.
Disease can be transmitted back and forth, and that concerns us greatly.
They also worry about the message it sends, saying farmed hunts are marketed around guaranteed results, something that doesn't exist in the backcountry.
They just go to these and walk around and again in a fenced yard and shoot the biggest animal they can.
More than 20 years ago, the province rejected penned hunting. Premier Ralph Klein called it abhorrent.
Clearly, 85% of the population thinks that this is not a fair way of killing deer and elk. It's not consistent with the concept of hunting as a sport.
Perhaps the mood has changed. Calgarians we spoke to Monday support the idea.
I don't think it hurts anybody, and I think everyone is entitled to do what they want on their lands.
I support it, but at the same time, it's got to be regulated.
If or when the legislation passes, regulations still need to be written and farms will have to apply for licenses, meaning fenced-in hunts won't start immediately. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
And right now, penned hunting is allowed in Saskatchewan, Quebec, and about half the American states. The province will be testing the emergency alert system tomorrow. The alert is set for 1:55 p.m. on television, radio, website, social media, and the Alberta Emergency Alert mobile app. Regular testing is typically held every May and November and keeps Albertans informed during emergencies like tornadoes, wildfires, floods, and amber alerts. The province is urging people to download the app and make sure they have supplies on hand for emergencies. Those include water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, and first aid kits. A major gathering focused on supporting the mental health of first responders is underway. It's the second annual Alberta First Responders Mental Health Conference. This is the first time it's in Calgary, building on a sold-out event last year in Edmonton and another conference in Eastern Canada earlier this year. The event caters to first responders, whether they're police, firefighters, EMS, or dispatch. Many organizations say they're seeing rising rates of burnout, PTSD-related injuries, and staff shortages, making mental health supports more urgent than ever.
First responders, like all people in uniform, are trauma-exposed professionals, see the world through a different lens and respond in a different way. They think about the world in a different way, and therefore they needed to be treated in that unique way, respecting who they are, their training, and some of the things they see.
The keynote speaker was Olympian and physician Dr. Haley Wickenheiser, who talked about resilience and the importance of long-term wellness. New data shows more than 35,000 households left the Greater Toronto area in the past year, and many of them ended up here in Alberta. Environics, a marketing and analytical services company owned by Bell Canada, looked at Q1 of last year to Q1 of this year, finding about 3% of those departing the GTA relocated to Calgary. So about 2,500 families, making us the top non-Ontario destination. Experts say affordability, especially for more space, is a major driver as younger individuals and growing families look for more room and a lower cost of living.
Certainly, the costly housing market in the GTA is going to be a driver. Part of it, though, is just going to be economic opportunities. People are going to have opportunities across the country that will move them to other places. So, some of what gets picked up here is people immigrating into the GTA and then moving to other places like Calgary or Edmonton or Vancouver.
The Canadian Real Estate Association found the benchmark price for all housing types in Calgary dropped to around $568,000 in October, marking the 6th consecutive month of year-over-year declines. A tearful reunion at the Calgary airport last night. A family of Syrian refugees that live in Alberta welcomed their daughter and her family to Canada, an arrival they've been waiting for the past 10 years. After fleeing to Jordan from conflict in Syria in 2012, the family immigrated to Canada in 2016. 5 family members were granted permanent residence in Lethbridge, but their adult daughter's fiancé's application was denied. The couple remained in Jordan as refugees as they and their family fought for them to come to Canada. And last night, after a decade apart, the couple and their now 2 children touched down in Calgary to be reunited with family.
Everything now awesome. I'm so happy, I'm very happy. Nothing now I'm enough, I'm enough now for everything. Yeah.
كثير كنت مبسوطة.
Very happy.
أول مرة أكون هيك مبسوطة أول فرحة لإلي تكون.
This is the best day of my life. I never felt this happy in my life together, all the family together.
Absent from today's reunion was Mohammed's father, who passed away while living in Lethbridge from lung disease. Mohammed had tried to visit but was not approved for a visitor visa. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.